Hello, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. Look at my big beautiful map. I can't remember if I showed you guys this, but I went to the thrift store and I saw this rolled up in the corner, and I was like, wait, I might need this. So I think it was $2.99, and it isn't just any map. It's a map you can write with dry erase markers on. So I pulled it out today because I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess it's actually a subject that came up during the video that I made about the big, beautiful bill. And I said one of my personal concerns has to do with the cuts to the Affordable Care Act. Because as a self-employed person who doesn't, my businesses make enough money I can pay my bills, but I'm not wealthy or anything. So the Affordable Care Act allows you to buy into the marketplace. Oops, sorry, something just fell. And it gives you tax credits depending on your income to use towards the cost of the insurance. So like maybe insurance that might cost you $600, if you get tax credits, you might be able to get it for $100 a month, or whatever. That was just an example. I don't know. So in that video, one of the things that I can't remember if it came up in the comments but was how every state, or a lot of states anyway, have different names for their Affordable Care Marketplace and also their Medicaid. So a lot of people don't really know that they are using it. They don't know that. And the reason for that, I was thinking about that this morning. I think the reason for that, this all started during Obama administration, and it was called Obamacare. And that became a political, like a political lightning rod, where people were like, Obamacare is going to raise insurance premiums for everybody else, and poor people shouldn't get free health care, and blah, blah, blah. But what Obamacare, while not a perfect program, it is the Affordable Care Act marketplace. So I don't know how Medicaid fits into that, honestly. I'm not sure. That's a little bit separate. But the Affordable Care Act marketplace, if your work doesn't offer insurance, or you're self-employed, which more and more people are in this day and age, or you don't work, you lost your job or whatever, you can buy into the Affordable Care. So you don't have to buy directly from the insurance companies, who charge a ridiculous amount of money generally. Anyway, but because it had become a political lightning rod, I don't even know if I'm using that word, then when states wanted to get their citizens, people, to sign up for it, they didn't want to call it Obamacare or Affordable Care Act, because people knew that was his program and they didn't want. So they would give it names that weren't that. And so people were then willing to sign up because they needed insurance. And but the problem is now nobody knows what the heck insurance they're on, I think. Not nobody, but a lot of people are like, I am not on the marketplace, but they really are. I don't know. Does that make sense? But anyway, I just thought it might be interesting to kind of discuss the names of the marketplaces in the different states, just so we all know what we're doing. The only reason I'm doing this really is I was recently with my sister and I mentioned that the Affordable Care Act has different names in different states. And she's like, what? I never knew that. And I was like, all right, if you don't know, probably other people don't know. So when I was looking up the names in all the states, I realized some states weren't really listed on there. And so some states use just the federal website, which is called healthcare.gov. So it's possible that your state, you are on healthcare.gov. And I believe if you go to that website, no matter where you are, it will ask you what state you're in. You put your state, and then it'll route you to your state's healthcare. So I think you can go to that no matter where you are. And then some states call it Federally Facilitated Marketplace, which is FFM, I guess. I don't know. It's called Federally Facilitated Marketplace. Okay, so that's some of the states. But then a lot of states have a unique name for theirs. So I thought we could, just for relaxation, really, write down the name, and then I'll kind of outline the state just for fun. Just, and I have printed them up because I can't memorize all this. So I do have a list here. So these are not the Medicaid names, which I do have a list for too. But these are the healthcare.gov ACA, which is the Affordable Care Act. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. All right, so the first state we'll look at is the state of California. And it's a big state. And my personal concern is because I do get tax credits towards insurance, which I know will make some of you mad. But that's the way it is. One of the things we learned when we looked at the Big Beautiful Bill is that part of the cuts are going to be to the, not just Medicaid, but also the tax credits for the ACA. And they're going to be rolled out over a 10-year period. But I imagine they're going to try to fit in as much as they can in the early part. Although probably not before the midterms. They like to politically wait until after midterms to do anything that might make people upset. But something to look out for. Okay. So California's is called Covered California. Covered California is their ACA. We will do Colorado. I was just thinking about going to Colorado. I'm having trouble staying in the lines. I would want to go to Red Rocks Theater. I've never been there. This is an aside, nothing to do with healthcare. But I was looking at the shows, and there is a show with Bonnie Raitt and Jimmy Vaughn. And I'd love to see Jimmy Vaughn. I've seen Bonnie Raitt before at blues festivals. But the tickets were like $323 a piece. And they weren't like close-up seats. I just don't know. I can't afford that. I don't think so. All right, Colorado is called Connect. This is a long one. For Health. Connect for Health. Colorado. Colorado. Oh, am I going to fit it? Yeah. CFHC. I thought maybe nope. I thought maybe it would make it word. Connect for Health, Colorado. Excuse me. All right. And then we have Connecticut. Well, that's interesting. I thought Connecticut was Okay. Connecticut has different names for their Medicaid and their ACA programs. Wow, that's even seems more confusing. Maybe they all do. Anyway, I had looked up Connecticut because in the comments somebody told me that their healthcare was called Husky Health. And I was like, I wonder where Huskies are. I was thinking Alaska, but it's Connecticut. But Connecticut's ACA program is called Access Health CT. Oh boy, where's Connecticut? It's way over here. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to have to go away from the mic. Okay, Connecticut. What did I say? Access Health. CT. That's Connecticut. And then we have DC, Washington, DC. I'm going to have to find it. It's so kind of little. Well, my pen isn't quite that little, but there it is. Washington, DC has DC Health Link. All right. Next up is Idaho, which is up here. Idaho. I have some cousins who live in Idaho. They say it's beautiful. They live in Boise. They say it's underrated. Oops. Okay, Idaho has Your Health. Oops, oh no. Your Health Idaho. Okay. Next is Kentucky. Here's Kentucky. I went to a family reunion in Kentucky last summer. It was fun. I made a video all about it, where we went. So if you're planning a family reunion, you can go check out that video. Probably just search No Frills ASMR Kentucky. All right. Kentucky is Connect, but spelled Kynect, right? Yeah. Yeah. Nect. Connect. Okay. And then we have Maine. Can you guys even see Maine? Yeah, I guess you can. I have this holding my thing down. Look at how cute this old thing. It says, "We grow too soon old und too late smart." I think it's Amish. Okay. Maine. That was a little bit sloppy, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, Maine is called Cover Me. Cover Me. What's the Bruce Springsteen song? Cover Me. I can't think of the tune. Anyway, Cover Me. Okay. And then there's Maryland. Maryland. Where's Maryland? Maryland's funny. It's got this little bit that comes down here into West Virginia. And then it almost doesn't have anything right in that spot. How far over? Let's see about that. That doesn't look right. Yeah, I guess it is. Uh-oh. Boy, it's hard to see on this map. They need to make the colors more different. There's Baltimore. There's a little Maryland here, the Eastern Shore. I don't know, it goes up there somehow. I'm not sure. I can't quite see it. All right, Maryland is called Maryland Health Connection. Maryland Health Connection. All right, I'll just do these ones and write them out. But then when I get to the Medicaid programs, we'll just kind of read over them and highlight them because there's a lot more of those. All right, the next one is Massachusetts. Massachusetts is up here. I can't quite see what I'm doing. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. All right, Massachusetts is health. Health Connector. Massachusetts. Am I wrong? I think also the ACA programs are programs that small businesses who have like under, I'm not sure, but a couple hundred employees or something, they can buy into it too for their employees. I think that's right. I could be wrong. Let me know if you know. All right, where was I? Health Connector. Okay. Sorry, I'm listening to my husband's coffee. He's been feeling great today. I'm a little concerned. I guess I hear him playing guitar now, so he must be okay. Okay, where was I? Minnesota. Okay. Minnesota. Come down here. Lake Superior. Go by St. Paul and Minneapolis. And then go across here. Okay. Minnesota's is MNMN for Minnesota. Shore. Minnesota Shore. All right. And then we have Nevada, which is over here. There's Las Vegas. Okay, Nevada's is called Nevada Health Link. Nevada Health Link. Okay, and then New Jersey. Sorry, New Jersey. New Jersey's over here. Why did they make it yellow and then like almost yellow? Like make the two next to each other different color. For old folks like me. Okay. New Jersey is Get Covered. Get Covered New Jersey. Yep, Get Covered New Jersey. Next is New Mexico. This one kind of makes me laugh for some reason. It sounds like so cool. New Mexico. Oops, that wasn't very good. Go up here by El Paso. Across. Okay. New Mexico's coverage is called Be Wellnum. It's Be Well, New Mexico. But for some reason when I read it, I go, Be Well and that's dumb. Okay. Be well. Mm, Be well, New Mexico. Okay. Next is New York. New York, New York. Okay, go up here. Big state, really. So many people think of New York as just the city, but it's got a lot of land too. Comes out here somewhere. Okay, New York is New York. Guess what it is? It's New York State of Health. You know, there's a new, speaking of New York State of, there's a new, I gotta get another card. Billy Joel documentary. I think it was on HBO. Hold on, I'm trying to get a card. And it's really good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was interesting because I've heard mixed reports about Billy Joel as far as a personality goes. But I thought it did a nice job of having him speak from the heart and give credit where credit was due to so many people in his life. I thought it was kind of nice. All right, where are we? We're on Pennsylvania. Where's my, I don't want to use the wrong pin. Pennsylvania's over here. Go up. Oops, it's not working. Come on, pen. By Erie. Okay, there's Pennsylvania. Its marketplace is called Penny. Penny. That's cute. And then Rhode Island. Oh boy, where's Rhode Island? Okay. Rhode Island is called Health Source Rhode Island. Health Source Rhode Island. Okay. Next is the great state of Vermont. I consider them all great states. Vermont. Although Pennsylvania is a oh my god, my brain just took a nap, sorry. It'll come to me in a minute. Vermont Health Connect. Vermont Health Connect. Commonwealth. I don't know what other states are commonwealths. I know Pennsylvania is. Anyway, all right. Virginia. Virginia. And here it is. Virginia. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Virginia. You know, one of my very smart commenters, I hope I'm getting the name right, I think it's Eric, asked me to do a video on Washington, D.C. And I should probably do that. I need to do a little studying, but I think it was, I don't remember, Madison or somebody who said the country's capital had to be wanted it in the South. And so they kind of broke this. They found this little bit of land right here. And that was not swampy, but kind of mosquito-y and stuff. And they put DC right here. They blocked out this portion. But yeah, I'll have to look into that a lot more. Okay, Virginia. Virginia's health insurance Marketplace. Virginia's. They could have gone with something like Virginia's for lovers and marketplaces. Virginia's health insurance marketplace. We'll just put that. Okay. Whoops. And then Washington State, which is up here and kind of hard to reach. There's stuff all in here I can't quite get to. We'll go out here and come down and down here. Oops. Oops. I gotta have my microphone in the way so I can't get over there. Okay. There's Washington State. And theirs is called Washington Health Plan Finder. All one word, it looks like. Health Plan. Whoops. There should be an L in there. Finder. Wow. So these are the ones that have, like, you know, names outside of healthcare.gov or ACA. So if you happen to be on any of those and you use the tax credits towards covering your, you know, monthly premium, that might change. So be on the lookout for that, or be aware of it, because you can, I think, I don't know how it works exactly, but I think most states there's an open enrollment period, and at that time you can change your health care. So if you're like, I hope they make it clear. I hope somehow they make it clear what the difference in cost will be, so we know and can change it if we need to. I don't know. This is why I get mad at politics, man. Because they're playing with our lives. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my pen. And we'll just go over the names of the Medicaid programs. So Medicaid is, well, I don't know exactly if it's, because I think disability has, I think that's like a, I forget, it's called like Social Security Disability Insurance. That might be under Medicare. I don't know. Medicare is what people over 60, whatever, 64, 65 can use. That's like Medicare. Medicaid is for often children, pregnant women, or low income. I believe that's correct. And there's probably other things too, but that's the bulk of it, okay? So Medicaid by state. Alabama, and these programs do have some cuts coming. I don't know exactly what, but they also are talking about, well, that it is in the bill that there will be a 20-hour work requirement per week for anyone on it, which I imagine would bump you off of it, I would think, because it's pretty low income. For anyone over, maybe it's over 16. I'm not sure what age it is. I don't know. Oops, I didn't look all that up. All right, Medicaid program names by state. Alabama has Alabama Medicaid. Alaska, Denali Care, like that. Arizona, oh, this is creative, AHCCCS. That must stand for something. AHCCCS. Arizona Health Care CCS, I don't know. Arkansas Medicaid. California Medi-Cal. Colorado Health First Colorado. Connecticut Husky Health. Delaware Diamond State Health Plan. You know what I was just thinking about that work requirement? What if you have it because you can't work because you are taking care of a loved one at home? Do they have anything? I assume they'll have some kind of thing you can fill out to prove that's what you're doing, because I think they say volunteer. I I always think with these programs about my dad. A lot of you know has Alzheimer's. And he's very lucky because, I mean, not lucky. He deserves it. He worked his whole life, and he worked for Chrysler Corporation. And at that time, they had, we're going back to the probably early 60s, maybe late 50s. But they had pensions, and when you signed up to work, you got like your life's, if you stay there for so many years, you're taken care of. So he's lucky like that. But I often think about people who have Alzheimer's or dementia who don't have family to take care of them. And if they get kicked off these programs because they don't follow, I don't know how that works. And then they have to have somebody, because you can't afford to put them into a facility because they're like $17,000 a month. So they have to be taken care of at home. So somebody's taking care of. There's just so much nuance to this stuff. Anyway, Florida. Statewide Medicaid managed care. Georgia Medicaid. Hawaii. This one sounds cool. MedQuest. Idaho Medicaid. Illinois is Illinois Medicaid. Those are pretty straightforward. Indiana, Hoosier Healthwise, and others. What's the and others? Hoosier Healthwise, and others. Oh, they mean like there's different. This is the list I just printed online. They must mean there's Hoosier Healthwise, and then they have other programs. Okay, I don't know. Iowa Medicaid. Kansas CanCare. Kentucky Medicaid. Louisiana Medicaid. Maine is MaineCare. Maryland is Maryland Medicaid. Massachusetts is Mass Health. Now, some of these places have different names for like programs that are just for children, 18 and under. I don't think that's on here. I'm not exactly sure. Michigan Medicaid. Minnesota Care. Mississippi is Mississippi Ken. Okay. Missouri is Missouri Medicaid. Montana Medicaid. Nebraska has Nebraska Medicaid. Nevada has Nevada Medicaid. Well, those are all quite straightforward. New Hampshire Medicaid. New Jersey is New Jersey Medicaid. Looks like almost all these. New Mexico Medicaid. New York Medicaid. North Carolina Medicaid, or they say NC, I guess. North Dakota, ND Medicaid. Ohio Medicaid. Oklahoma, Sooner Care. Oregon Health Plan, OHP. Pennsylvania, PA Medicaid. Rhode Island, RI Medicaid. South Carolina, SC Medicaid. South Dakota, SD Medicaid. Tennessee has 10 as in TENN, 10 Care, Tennessee Care. Texas Medicaid. Utah Medicaid. Vermont Medicaid. Virginia has Cardinal Care. I think their state bird is the cardinal. Washington, Apple Health. That's adorable. West Virginia, WV Medicaid. Wisconsin, Badger Care Plus. I like it, Wisconsin. Badger Care Plus. And Wyoming is Wyoming Medicaid. And then those are the marketplace ones we already did. So there you go. Hopefully that put you right to sleep. Sleeping like a baby. Because it wasn't all that exciting. Anyway, alright guys. I will talk to you soon. Let's just cut these up for fun. Cover me. That was Maine, Maryland. Health Connection. Health Connector. I don't remember. Hold on. Health Connector was Massachusetts. MN Shores, Minnesota. Nevada Health Link. Get Covered, New Jersey. Be Well, New Mexico. New York State of Health. Covered, California. Connect for Health, Colorado. Access Health, Connecticut. DC Health Link. Your Health, Idaho. Connect for Kentucky. Penny, Pennsylvania. Health Source, Rhode Island. Vermont Health Connect. Virginia's Health Insurance Marketplace. Washington Health Plan Finder. There they are. The ACA insurance. Penny Health Stores, Rhode Island. Vermont Health Connect. Virginia. Let's put them on their state. So Washington goes here. Kentucky goes here. New Jersey goes here. Right there. Oops. Okay. New York goes here. Virginia goes here. Pennsylvania. Minnesota. Connecticut. Maine. Colorado. That's in the middle of everything. Rhode Island. Kind of here. Nevada. Vermont. California. Oh shoot, should we say this fast? I keep forgetting. Health Connector, Massachusetts. That's here. Eek. Maryland. DC. It's kind of here. Oops. Idaho. Okay. stayed.